It is I, whom by my great power and my outstretched arm have made the earth, with the men and animals that are on the earth. And I give it to whomever seems right to me. So it's raining. Hello, and welcome to Hereby Nature. Today I'm going to be going over Jeremiah 27:5, which reads in the English Standard Version, "It is I whom by my great power and my outstretched arm have made the earth, with the men and animals that are on the earth. And I give it to whomever seems right to me." So, for a little bit of context, in Jeremiah 1 and 2, it reads, "In the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, this word came to Jeremiah from the Lord. Thus the Lord said to me," me there being Jeremiah. We're going to skip ahead to 27:4. "Give them this charge for their masters. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, this is what you shall say to your masters." So, whenever it says, "It is I," that's God talking. So, for section 1, as in Genesis, we know that God created the earth as we know it. Here, he elaborates with his outstretched arm that he created the earth. So, for those journal prompts, reflect on how wonderful nature is. What is your favorite season? What makes it special to you? How does knowing that the creator of the earth and the seasons also created you change your outlook? For section 2, God gives it to whom he deems right. What seems right to God may not align with worldly ideas of deservingness. This teaches humility and calls us to seek alignment with God's will rather than striving for status in the world's eyes. And those journal prompts, how would you define right in this context? With how we're treating the earth today, do you feel that God would give the earth to us now? For section 3, God has great power. Our God is the same God then, back in Genesis, back with Jeremiah, as he is now. He made the earth and all living beings by his own strength. That isn't abstract power. It's purposeful, deliberate, and deeply personal. So those journal prompts reflecting on this are, in what ways do you see God's purpose in how you were made? Are there parts of yourself you struggle to see as intentional? Man. So for the personal reflection part, honestly, as much as I thought that spring was going to be like my favorite season and everything, I'm not a fan of the rain or the humidity that Texas brings. That's why I have my hair half done up. The rain is fun, but not a fan of the humidity that stays. Now, really, the journal prompt that I'm going to be talking about is the section 3 ones. In what ways do you see God's purpose in how you were made? And are these parts of yourself, or are there parts of yourself that you struggle to see as intentional? And I'm picking those because they're a little bit deeper than, oh, I don't like the humidity because it makes me look a certain way, or I don't like these like extraneous things. I'm sorry, I just saw that a daffodil is actually in bloom, which makes me really happy. But that's beside the point. So the first question, in what ways do you see God's purpose in how you were made? So even whenever I was little, I had just an eye for like photography. I had like one of those cheapo little like point and shoot, not little, like that small, but like little point and shoot Canon cameras. And I took like a ton of pictures, and I found some of them on a flash drive recently. And honestly, just because I was out taking pictures like constantly, there were a lot of really gold, like pure gold shots in there. Like, I'm glad that I found some of those. Some of them are still missing, but all in all, a lot of the important ones were kept. So yeah, I was given creativity, an eye for photography, and now that I'm working on honing my video skills, I feel like there's definitely a purpose there. And even in high school, like I tried to write like this trilogy of like a sci-fi thing. I got 2 books down. The third one, to like put it all nicely into a little bow, that one didn't really quite make it. But that's also a hint for something to come later. And the second journal prompt in section 3 is, are there parts of yourself you struggle to see as intentional? Now, being that I'm about to turn 30 and I've spent a lot of time like backlogging and like thinking about all of these things that I've done, like everything has been intentional. Like the reason why, just everything. Why I went to school where I went to school instead of a big one out in Houston, or instead of like trying to go out to New York to I don't know. I can't even think of the name of the school that I wanted to go to. I'll see if I can find it and put it on screen. But like the fact that I went to the college that I went to, that was intentional. The fact that I like moved out whenever I went to college was intentional. And I know that's not technically a part of myself, but it's a part of my story. And it'll make sense. Because if I hadn't gone where I had gone, then I wouldn't be the person with the lived experiences that I am now. Just the fact that the rain is like calming right now, just as a side note, to like let me talk and get this out, is like really nice as well. But yeah, I guess the one thing, and it's still a little bit better for me to like talk about and everything. The last part that I'm kind of hanging on to is the like mental diagnosis. But I've been on medicine for so long, and different kinds of medicine for so long, that like the chemistry of my brain like has been changed for numerous I'm not gonna put a number on it, but numerous years. And yeah, just that part, that's the part that I struggle with. And I know that we are getting a lot closer to figuring out like the proper name of the diagnosis and everything, and like what triggers it, through a lot of trial and error. But even that was intentional, because if I had just grown up in CCE, grown up in the church, and like stayed with the church instead of straying away for the decade that I had and coming back, if I had just stayed with the church, then there would be like a human aspect that would be lost, because I wouldn't know all of the struggles and everything that are associated with mental health. I wouldn't be able to have that level of empathy that I've been able to grow and nurture Sorry, there was a little frog. Yeah, I wouldn't have that level of empathy. Even with me working and being in sales for basically a decade. If you were to tell me in high school that I was going to go to art school and then work at Walgreens for a while, work at these other like big name places selling other people's items instead of selling my art or doing something like even greater, I don't know that I would have believed you, because I was that shy kid in elementary school who got an award for being as quiet as a mouse. Like, my voice was not something that I was known for in school. So yeah, it's not so much that I'm struggling to see it as intentional, because I know all of it is intentional now with hindsight and all of that. But yeah, hopefully you heard what you needed to hear today. If you would like to hear more, feel free to subscribe. That would be really rad. And I would also love to hear from you down in the comments below. And until next week, friends, I'll see you then, and have a blessed one. Oh, I can't see it all. It would help if I could see. It is I. 'Tis I. For section 3. Yeah. Can I find Mr. Frog? Oh, I did. I found the frog. He was under this. Mr. Frog, I'll put you back.